Hello, my name is Chris Reyes, and I'd like to share an experience that I had when I was working as a dishwasher for Whole Foods in the prepared foods department. So this one afternoon, I was going into my shift. It was my first week of work, starting this job, and as I was coming in, there was a lot of chaos coming from the kitchen. You could hear the noise, the loud talking, and just the banging of the kitchen equipment. And I was wondering what's going on. It seems like a really hectic day. I hope everything is going well. And it turns out it wasn't. um you know the dishwash pit, all the machinery wasn't functioning. It was very important for us to use those machines, because it was the basically the core of sanitizing and ensuring that all the dishes were clean and safe to use for the food. And so coming in, all of that wasn't functioning, and we had to find a way around that. So I and two other employees, we were trying to figure out what to do. We were having a pretty hard time at first trying to figure out the right rhythm to make sure we were washing all the dishes. But I had some prior kitchen experience before working this job, and so I kind of took charge of the situation, and I assigned like designated areas for us to use in the kitchen, in the dish pit itself, for us to be able to make sure that we washed all those dishes. It was very important for the kitchen to have all of those dishes cleaned, because we were a diamond store, which is considered the highest grossing location for the district. And so for us to not have that machinery functioning, it was very vital to our success. And so me taking charge of that situation, I assigned one of us to do the washing, one of us to do the sanitizing, and one of us to do the rinsing. And so us, we kind of picked up a flow. I was in the middle of it, making sure that we were all working in unison, making sure that everything was running smooth. And through the end of that, I was charged as the employee of the month, and it was only my first week of work, and they rewarded me with a gift card and a bunch of other goodies. And I decided to share that with my team, because it was a team effort. It wasn't a one-man job. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and I'm very grateful to have earned the title of employee of the month, being a first week employee. So yeah, that's my experience, and I think it was a success.